Hello, good morning. This is Siva Devaki from MassMailer. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Today I'm going to talk about another new feature that we just started in the new release, how to send a quick email from any Salesforce object as long as that object is enabled in MassMailer. So we'll take a look at it. So just to summarize, this feature would be available for any object that's supported in MassMailer, provided there is an email field on that object. So sometimes you may not have an email field, even though you enable that in MassMailer setup page. You won't be able to send email because there's no email field on that particular object. So the main intent, even to create this particular feature, is to make it easy for the end users. If they just want to send a quick email, go to the record, fill in the information, like what email they want to send it, and then send it, right? Otherwise, so far, we have two ways to send out emails before this. One is the outreach wizard. You go through a full-blown outreach wizard, and the other one is the quick send, which is a one-pager email sending feature, the quick send. But this is more like a component that can be dragged and you can add it to the page layout itself. That way you're not going anywhere, just staying in the record and then quickly send it in a simple manner. Okay? So how we do it, it's a Lightning component, a little technical, but just assume that you just have to add that to your page. Your admin can add that Lightning component and then it'll show up wherever you added that particular component. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Salesforce send email feature at the object level, at the record level. It works something similar. I'm sure you can compare that with a little bit more advanced features, such as whatever MassMailer provides, such as like IP pool and unsubscribe kind of things that we provide. So those are extra, but it's more or less like same thing as send email feature, what you see at the object level in Salesforce. But again, we are using SendGrid behind the scenes, as you know. So the architecture-wise, everything is SendGrid behind the scenes to send out, and MassMailer will let you send a single email at the object level using this new feature. And what can you do here? You can obviously add to CC, BCC, and you can select which email field. That's a little advanced because if you have multiple email fields on the object, you can actually select which one it is. Of course, enter the email subject and the body. I forgot to mention email body, but just assume that you're gonna have the email body as well. You can select IP pool if you have one, and you can select if it is transactional or non-transactional. I think we're keeping this as a global unsubscribe. If I'm not wrong, keeping it very simple. If you're just sending an email, it's basically gonna go through transactional, non-transactional. You just turn on that flag. You can send it now or schedule later. That feature is available. You can also identify the merge fields, meaning if you do not know the merge fields, you can actually identify what those merge fields are and then send it across. Again, there's a brand new feature that we added, so there could be a little tweaks that we may need to do with respect to the page layout and stuff like that. So we also needed the feedback from all of you. And if you're new to MassMailer, if you're just starting, and you should be able to get access to this particular release if you just recently enrolled with subscribe to MassMailer. But if you're an existing client for a long time, then you can only have the sandbox preview upon request. So we're gonna make an announcement that on the sandbox preview very soon, if you're an existing client for a long time. If you are new client, recently subscribed to MassMailer, provided you have 2.50.x version, then you will have this particular feature already. The simple send, you just have to enable this behind the scenes. So this is how it looks. It's just one simple component that you can see. Again, I'm gonna show you live as well. And how do you set up? Again, your admin will have to help you. So you go to the Lightning page layout of any object and add a component called Simple Send via MassMailer. wherever it is appropriate. I mean, there are many ways to add that component. I'll just show it to you the way we added it, but your admin can decide what is the right place for your company where you can add this and take it from there. And again, based on how or where it is added, the layout may or may not look the same, meaning it may shrink sometimes. So again, that's something that feedback is what we are looking for. We want to make sure that it actually looks nice. But again, depending on the page width, the size and everything, some of it may get trapped. So we want that feedback, and we'll fix it as we go further. Okay, so it's not complicated to set it up. We just have to drag and drop that component and take it from there. So, right, let's take a look at it. Salesforce. So let's say you go to a lead object, and then I believe I have one lead with my email address. So I'm going to go to that. So we added here, another tab under email via MassMailer, because you can't change anything else. So this is a section where you can actually add more tabs. This name could be anything. It could be simple, send, whatever you want to name this tab as. It's up to you. Or MassMailer send, it's up to you. But there would be, this thing like email via MassMailer. We're going to add that no matter what. That way, whatever you name this, it's up to you. But the component heading would still show as email via MassMailer. Any feedback on this also appreciate it. If you want a different name, we can do that. It's all up to you. Please give us the feedback. So it's sending from this address. That's a user address. And then you have an option to add CC as well. And you can add BCC. And then this is the to address. You can add multiple if needed. And then you can enter a simple email. I mean, I'm just going to type in, that way it makes it easy. So this is simple send email feature. And then what email address you want to send. I know it's showing email. Please don't get confused. So I think we were just doing some random testing. So basically there are two email fields. It could be different name. It could be email 1, email 2. Apparently, I think our label was same, and I didn't realize that. But whatever the email field that you actually want to send out emails to, just select that field. And if you have an IP pool, you would select that. Otherwise, you don't need to. You just try to make is transactional, not. Again, we just kept it. We again need the feedback from you. While we want to keep it simple, we still want to give a little bit of a, not a little bit, rather like some of the advanced features MassMailer provides. We thought maybe we should add that feature in simple send as well. That's why we came up with these transactional not. Again, if you're not familiar with Salesforce, all it means is, let's say you're sending an email to a recipient who unsubscribed from newsletter, and you still want to send an email. So if you turn this as is transactional, then the email would go, because it's basically something that you really want to send even if they unsubscribed. But by default, we'll keep it as not transactional, just because we don't know. Maybe you're trying to send a sales email, whatever, and you don't want to really send email to somebody who actually unsubscribed. So again, we get this feature there. Give us the feedback if you really want to keep it or not. It's based on the feedback we'll decide. But we felt that we should keep it there. Just because sometimes maybe you're not sales and marketing user, you're sending a transactional email, you want to really get this email go in a simple manner. So we thought it's useful to keep it. And then delivery options, you can send now or schedule later. So that's standard, if you're familiar with MassMailer. And then simple email body. So let's just say this is demo email. All right. And then the 3 buttons that you see, the merge fields, and then you can also select an email template. If not, you're just going to go like type in the email the way I did it, because it's simple one. So I thought I would it across to you, and then click on this launch button. That basically would ask you to launch it and then say yes. And that's how you send it. And I'll actually show you the other features as well. I just want to show you the way you can actually send in a simple manner. And we'll maybe cover the other options that you see there. Behind the scenes, it's still gonna create an outreach record because everything that has been sent is captured in outreach for statistical purposes and whatnot. And you have an option to go back to that related to record link. If you want to go back quickly, this is an option. So you click on that record link, it actually takes you back to that record. Again, the user experience, we would love to hear back from you, but we thought it's important for us to navigate to the outreach. That way, you know that email has been sent. And that's basically how the flow is. And again, taking a look at some of these features here, once again, let's say if you wanted to select a template, right? So there are 3 buttons. I'll just cover this. So this is basically the one that actually shows you the merge fields. As you can see, this is wrapped, and that's because we have the related list here. It may be ideal for you to just add it in like a single row. I leave that decision to you. Please give us the feedback again. So let's say you're trying to find out what is the merge field for first name. You have an option here to identify what it is, and then say copy, and that becomes your merge field, and go back. So there's a tiny button there. So you basically have to copy paste that in your template. That's an option. Or you actually want to maybe pick a template from a folder because you want to send an advanced email. As I mentioned, we still want to retain some of the advanced features MassMailer provides, not just typing a simple email. Sometimes you want to actually pick a template. And that could be a MassMailer template. It'll load that editor again due to the size restrictions. This is how it appears. We're going to make some tweaks to see if we can actually readjust this based on the size. And all you do is just save this, and then you basically send. Launch, right? So that's a template feature. And if you want to clear out this, you can basically, this is basically for clearing it. Otherwise, all you do is, sorry. So you got to select an email field. That's mandatory, right? And if there's no IP pool, you don't need to. And then click and then launch. So that's how you basically send email using like an existing MassMailer template. That's another option that you have. Again, clicking on this record link will take you back to that particular record. Same thing on contact. So if you wanted to send an email to contact, you have an option. So again, you could add that particular, what do you call the actual, the component right here, as you can see. This is added in the right-hand side. It looks much more smaller. Again, depending on what makes sense for your company, you can add it wherever you want to add it. It works the same way for contact as well. It's also supported for any custom object as well, as long as it's an email field. That's how you basically use this feature. And then now let's take a look at the actual, actually, let's go from here. Let's say you want to add our edit page to add this component. How do you do that? So go to the record, and this is for admins, not for the end users. Or if you have access to changing the page layouts and stuff, you can do that as well. So once you go to the actual page builder, or the Lightning page layout, since we already added it, it's basically there. But how do you add it? I can basically remove this just for the sake of showing it to you. I can remove this as well. So let's say now we don't have anything, right? And if you want to add something, so you can add a tab,
and this shows up details, and you can just make it as custom. I can call this as MassMailer send or something like that, right? And they're done. So that basically added a new tab for me. And if I wanted to add the component, just type in simple send via MassMailer, drag and drop that, and that's it. That component is added. You just save this, and it's saved. And you go back to your page. That should appear in the contact page layout as a MassMailer send. So this can be changed. The name can be changed. You can just make it as MassMailer. It's up to you, whatever you want to call this as. And this email via MassMailer is still like coming from us, so that is not editable at this time. That's pretty much it. Happy to clarify any questions. Okay, so a couple of questions here. Can we do a test email so that we can forward it to compliance first using simple send? Test email to someone else, not to this user. So meaning you want to send it to random, whatever, right? Like let's say hello. I tested this, if that's what you're looking for. Doesn't seem like that's supported because it's not a record. Okay, so provided that particular the to email address is a record, you should be able to do that. And then let's just say we give the email subject. I'll call this as test email for the email layout, whatever. And copy paste that, and then launch. So if this is what, so you still have to select the email field. That's a good thing that it's asking. So basically select email field because that's still coming from the email field of this particular record, which is the test in this scenario. So as long as that particular record exists, you can still send an email to, someone in your company, but make sure that that record exists. If that's what you're asking, that's possible to do it. The only catch is that you have to have that as a record. The test email needs to be a record in Salesforce. That is clarified. Any more questions, anyone? Okay, so if you don't mind typing in or just speak out what your question is. I'm not sure if you can actually speak. Do you mind typing in your, okay, so, okay, I'm gonna let you. Yeah.
Hey, good morning. So I see that you have specific contacts you put in here. Can you also do a list of contacts as well?
In a simple send?
Yes.
So simple send is meant to do like one contact.
Okay.
If you wanted to do a list, so the way you would do it is you would actually go to say contacts. And if you want to send a mass email, but quickly, then you go to quick send via MassMailer.
Okay.
And that is one pager. Again, you will have more advanced features here, but it is still one pager. It's not like a full-fledged outreach wizard where
Okay.
you go
Gotcha.
through the wizard. Yeah. So
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's possible to do it. Just let MassMailer. All right. So Thank you so much for asking the question. Anyone else? I know someone raised the hand. Sorry, missed it. Okay, any more questions? Anyone? All right, so seems like no more questions there. Thank you so much once again. This is a weekly webinar that we schedule every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Feel free to join the next webinar again. I'm gonna again talk about one of the new features in the new release. This new release would be, I mean, it's already available for brand new clients, but if you're an existing client, please wait for some more, a couple of more weeks. Right now, it's only available for Sandbox upon request, which we would be announcing shortly. And then, yeah, again, if you want to join the webinar, feel free to subscribe to our email list or look at our social channels and the website so you can know the next week's topic. And we would like to see you next week again. And if you're new to MassMailer, you are free to get on a trial. Just click on the link that you see here and get on a trial. We're happy to help you as well. And if you have any further questions, here is the contact information where you can actually contact us. And if you're new to our YouTube channel, I strongly recommend that you go to YouTube, type in MassMailer, find our channel, subscribe to it. That way you get notified on all the new videos that we can upload. Once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Appreciate it and have a great day.